Today's show, are we in the valuation bubble?
I'm Jay Adelson, and I'm the founder and chairman of Revision 3.
I've built a number of companies.
I've been hired as a CEO, and I've even been fired as one. For example, Equinix is a company I took public in 2000, and now has a market cap of over $4 billion. In 2008, I was incredibly honored to have been selected as one of Time Magazine's most influential people in the world. My goal is to pass on some of this knowledge to you, the budding entrepreneurs, and hopefully leave you with some words of wisdom. This episode of AskJay is brought to you by HostGator.
Today's question comes from Ryan in New York City, who asks, I just read about Color raising $41 million on a $100 million post-money valuation. What gives? I know that when you read this stuff in the media, it just seems really bizarre. I mean, in the case of Color, you had a photo sharing app, or at least what was perceived as a photo sharing app, driving a crazy amount of money to be raised in the first place, and then what seems like an impossible valuation. So what's happening here? There's a psychology that happens during the raise itself that will generate a lot of these high valuations. Usually it's competition between investors for that investment. Something, in the case of Color, something that they were presenting to venture capitalists and to their investors was so compelling that there was a race for people to get into that deal. And so that's going to do two things. One, it's going to drive the valuation higher, but it's also going to encourage the entrepreneurs to say, hey, these are really great investors, maybe I should take more money because it's available to me. Using the rule of, well, if money's available, you should take it, a lot of entrepreneurs end up doing it, and they take way more money than they actually need. In general, not a great practice, because what you probably want to do is take as little as you can to ensure that you give away as little of the business as you can. Now, whether or not this is a bubble, I will tell you that in 2005, when we were raising money for Digg and Revision 3, in both of those cases, there was a lot of competition for the deal. And while tempting to push that valuation up and obviously give away less of the company, it can hurt you in the long run, because if you have to raise another round of capital or sell the company, you definitely have to exceed that bar, or multiple of that valuation, in order to see a penny as a common stockholder. So this is something that we resisted going too crazy. We tried to keep the valuations healthy but reasonable, and we definitely did not choose the highest value offer. Anyway, in a minute, I'll give you some tips and tricks on really how to figure out what that valuation should be. But first, let's thank our sponsor.
Looking for a place to launch a blog or a website? Frustrated with customer support at your current hosting provider? Go to HostGator and get up and running in minutes. With plans starting just at $3.96 a month, you get top-rated 24/7 customer support, access to tools, including a website builder with over 4,000 templates. HostGator will even migrate your current site for free. Servers are 130% powered by wind energy. It's completely green web hosting. Unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth, a 45-day money-back guarantee, a $100 Google AdWords credit to market your website. Right now, for Revision 3 viewers, HostGator is offering 25% off your order or your first month free. Go to www.hostgator.com and enter the code JAdelson at checkout to get your discount.
So for today's homework assignment, you're trying to figure out what your valuation is. And you might be doing this for your first round, your second round, or any round. And there's a couple different ways to figure this out. One is figuring out what percentage of the company you actually are willing to give away. I know that in the earlier stages of your company, before prototype, it's reasonable to give away more of your company for less money. So you fit into these brackets, like $3, $7, or $10 million pre-money valuations, and you just sort of figure out which one of these brackets you fit into. It's not based on any complicated math. The other kinds of valuation really have to do with revenue multipliers, and I think that there are professionals who can actually help with this. But you figure out really what your revenue is or what your revenue will be, you multiply it by some number, and that's based on the market you're in and what comparable companies have been selling for, going public for, trading for in your space. And so these are the two buckets of figuring out value. Another great source of information, though, is just go look at other companies that have been funded recently or have sold recently that fit the same model as yours or similar model as yours. And you can use those comparable, it's sort of like buying a home to figure out what your valuation is. Thanks for watching. Remember, we need your questions. AskJay@revision3.com. Use Twitter @Jay Adelson or upload a video response. We'd love to see them. As weird as they may be, the weirder the better. In any case, until next time, I'll see you later.